In the ever-expanding universe of Kinnikuman, the classic Japanese pro wrestling manga and anime series that has captivated fans for over 4 decades, 2 new figures from CCP Japan's Kinnikuman Station project have arrived, each with their own unique narrative power. Unveiled recently, the company introduces 1. A what-if version of the tragic anti-hero Kinniku Sadaharu, reimagined as a symbol of strength untainted by trauma or persecution. 2. A fearsome and jaw-dropping update to Mammothman, known in this collection as Primitive Power Mammothman, a throwback to his brutal, primal essence. Together, these 2 figures are more than mere merchandise, they are profound reflections of storytelling, alternate destinies, and raw emotion, packaged in the form of intricately designed collector's items. Let's dive into the inspiration, design philosophy, and deeper meaning behind these new additions that are already stirring excitement across the Kinnikuman fandom. The world of Kinnikuman, a brief look. Before dissecting the significance of the new figures, it's worth revisiting what makes Kinnikuman so iconic. Created by the duo Udetamago comprising writer Takashi Shimada and artist Yoshinori Nakai, Kinnikuman debuted in 1979 and quickly evolved from a comedic superhero spoof into a wrestling-themed action saga. Over the decades, it has explored friendship, redemption, destiny, and sacrifice through a rich tapestry of choujin superhuman wrestlers, often reflecting Japanese values of perseverance and courage. It is within this framework that characters like Kinniku Sadaharu and Mammothman became fan favorites, both tragic, powerful, and unforgettable. Kinniku Sadaharu, a character born in suffering. Kinniku Sadaharu is a name that evokes sorrow, regret, and tragedy. Once the older brother of the series' central hero Kinniku Suguru Kinnikuman Sadaharu was destined to be king. However, a dark twist of fate and a series of misunderstandings saw him disgraced, exiled, and eventually morph into the fearsome villain, Gold Mask. The trauma twisted his worldview, turning him into a bitter, dangerous antagonist, forever haunted by what might have been. His complex story resonated deeply with fans, presenting a painful, what-if, scenario rarely explored so openly in shonen manga. Greater than, what if this character had never been treated unfairly? What if his noble spirit had been nurtured, not crushed? The, what if he had grown up without persecution, figure. The new CCP figure dares to answer that question, offering fans a glimpse into an alternate timeline where Sadaharu was never exiled or forced to become Gold Mask. Design concept. This version of Sadaharu stands tall, not as a villain or outcast, but as a heroic, confident, and majestic leader, a true king of planet Kinniku. Gone are the dark shadows and menacing aura. Instead, the sculpt features regal armor and cape, colored in dignified shades of white and gold, symbolizing purity and rightful rule. A calm and resolute facial expression, free of resentment, embodying strength born from peace rather than vengeance. A heroic stance, arms folded or extended in a protective gesture, suggesting guardianship over his people rather than domination. Emotional impact. For longtime fans of the series, this figure represents emotional healing, a form of narrative therapy. It's not just a collectible. It's a symbolic tribute to the idea that people can become heroes if nurtured with kindness and justice. By reimagining Sadaharu as a noble king rather than a tragic villain, CCP taps into one of the most profound ideas in storytelling. Greater than redemption is not just for the guilty, sometimes, the truly noble simply never got the chance. Primitive Power Mammothman. Raw, untamed, and ferocious. Standing in sharp contrast to Sadaharu's regal presence is the Primitive Power Mammothman figure, an evolution that throws the character back into his most animalistic, untamed form. Who is Mammothman? Originally introduced as part of the Perfect Choujin group, Mammothman quickly became known for his overwhelming strength, primal rage, and the ability to turn battles into bloodbaths. With his massive tusks, brute tactics, and fierce loyalty to the cause, he was a fearsome foe that required cleverness and teamwork to defeat. But Mammothman was never just a beast. Beneath the fury, he held a tragic dignity, an echo of the wild past, brought into a world of complex alliances and wars. The primitive power concept. The new figure from CCP does away with any polish or refinement seen in modernized versions. Instead, it dives deep into the savage roots of the character. Design highlights. Ultra-realistic fur textures, sculpted to look rough, wild, and wind-blown, evoking his connection to prehistoric chaos. Eyes glowing red, symbolizing rage, instinct, and pure fight-or-flight survival mode. enlarged tusks and clawed limbs, emphasizing evolution as a killing machine designed by nature itself. A base designed to look like ancient ice or stone, grounding him in the primal world before civilization. Symbolism. Mammothman's primitive power form is not just an aesthetic redesign. It's a philosophical statement. Greater than when stripped of alliances, politics, and rules, what remains is the raw, unforgiving nature of survival. In this figure, fans witness Mammothman not as a perfect Chaojin, but as a living embodiment of primal instinct, uncontrolled by morals or strategy. CCP's legacy. Art meets storytelling. CCP Japan has long been known for creating figures that go beyond fandom nostalgia. Their works stand at the intersection of art, narrative, and philosophy. With these two new additions, they prove once again that a figure is not just a 3D object, but a piece of story carved into reality. In their Kin肉マン Station series, CCP elevates side characters, alternate versions, and hypothetical scenarios to the spotlight, giving them a second life and richer dimension. These new figures are more than alternate costumes, they are alternate fates. Fan reactions. A storm of emotion and excitement. Within hours of announcement, Kin肉マン fan forums, social media accounts, and YouTube review channels lit up with reactions ranging from awe to tears. Some notable sentiments from Japanese fans include: greater than open corner bracket, close corner bracket. A world line where his sad fate changed, I can't stop crying. Greater than open corner bracket kono mamosuman ideographic comma, close corner bracket. This Mammothman might show up in my nightmares, it's that intense. Collectors across Asia, North America, and Europe have already begun pre-ordering the figures, hoping to secure them before inevitable stock shortages. Availability and pricing. Both figures are currently available for pre-order through CCP Japan's official store and authorized retailers. Kiniku Sadaharu, What If No Persecution Veer. Price: 18,000 yen approximately. $125 USD. Release date: November 2025. Primitive Power Mammothman. Price: 20,000 yen approximately. $140 USD. Release date: December 2025. Limited editions with light-up eyes, premium paint finishes, or display backgrounds are expected to be announced soon. Why these figures matter. A legacy carved in resin. In the world of manga and anime, especially long-running franchises like Kin肉マン, the line between fiction and personal philosophy often blurs. Fans don't just watch characters, they relate, dream, and heal with them. That's why the What If Sadaharu and Primitive Power Mammothman aren't just fan service. They are emotional artifacts. What happens when art dares to rewrite pain and amplify primal truth? In short, one figure is a king who was never broken. The other is a beast who was never tamed. Together, they define the powerful spectrum of what makes Kin肉マン timeless. Final thoughts. As CCP continues to breathe life into the alternate stories and deeper truths of Kin肉マン world, one thing is certain. The fans aren't just collecting toys, they're collecting pieces of what could have been, and reminders of the human condition, sculpted in heroic and monstrous form. And in that beautiful tension between hope and fury, these figures stand proudly, telling stories that stretch far beyond the page.